Go give Rowan a word up. Tell her hi and tell her chin up. She's a warrior. We need her to stay in the fight, you know. And she's got some people effing with her, you know. And you can tell her energies are. She's been in the same fight we all have been. It's been hard, you know. This has been real tough. End of the year and everything. 2025 was real brutal. But Rowan's a homie, you know. And so just go over there and say, "What up, Rowan? We love you." And we support you, and we're really happy to have you out here on these streets. And we hope that you and your partner are safe, and that you know, because they're messing with, you know, and that your pets. And I just hope that you guys are safe. I hope that you got a good place to be and that you're safe, and that whoever's effing with you, O.G.O is gonna visit them in their dreams. I'll write their name on my mirror. Send me an email. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. But seriously, I know how it is out here with these vampires, man. And so anyhow, it's been crazy. 2025 has been. It's where we've had to really stand and meet ourselves, you know, and really stand, you know, like in that, you know, it's like, well, what are you, you know? And it's like we had to really stand in that fact of that we were gods, you know. We didn't have any other options, you know. It's like kind of backed in the corner, and you're like, well, at this point, it's just being God, and I have a total faith in God that if I just stand in that energy of me and God, everything else is gonna have to fall in place because it has to. That's just what it is, you know. That's the whole point of like being a chosen one, because you have that card, you have that access when you're willing to be the prodigal child and sit your ass down and come home. God's like, I got you, son. I got you, daughter. Happy you came home, you know. And so we'll go ahead and ask Spirit. I'm gonna say thank you, God, for everything, man. Even the scars. The scars to prove it, right, guys? And so, love you, God. We love you. Always let God directed us, you know. Even though we had to tug us by our neck sometimes, put a ring in our nose, you know. We love you. Please take care of everybody out here right now going through it, because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on. And please get inside the heads of these guys, these motherfuckers out here, man. These bombs and shit are done. Seriously, they need to be thinking smart, you know. So let's get us read here for chosen one and see what they need to know about their person, right? About that love, right? About that, you know, it's that emotional place that you can find where you don't have to worry about it. Seriously, I can't even do it. I can't even do it. I've gone as far as I could get. As far as I can get. The O.G.O. So I can't. You're not gonna be. We're gonna talk about the world. Get the world, okay? And so the world, as far as love goes, as far as like the people that you care for in your life, it's a good card, you know, because it's you know, because it's the mastery of all four elements, okay, right? With the world card, so it's a cycle card, and it's a self mastery card, and so it's about understanding how to have that veil of protection that's around you, you know, with the world card, but not feel alone or isolated, you know, and so it's like right now, it could be really hard to see like that you're being protected because it hurts, you know, or it's like it's more like it's that we're kind of addicted to the hurt, and so in our isolation, we're struggling of finding ourselves in this hermit card by being separated by a lot of the things that by people who weren't serving us, you know, and it's like it's for us, you know, because we're chosen ones, and so it's like we're in that bubble, we're in that egg, because we really want to still protect like the relationships that we have left, the ones that haven't been like just gutted, because like we've really lost a lot of big ones that really have, you know, it's like you know, one of your parents probably dead, both your parents probably dead, you know, or whatever. You probably don't have much of a relationship with the one that's still alive, you know, or in jail, in prison, or wherever. Who knows, you know, addicted, not present, right? And so we don't have a whole lot of support there, not at all. And we never have, it's like we've had to learn everything that we know about relationships from watching the dysfunctional relationships that are around us. And that applies not just to like people who were raised in an extremely dysfunctional environment like I was myself, but that applies to anybody. I mean, if you're raised in front of a TV, the only concept that you have of how relationships operate are very pig-headed. They're not at all divine. They're very karmic. And so what we've learned as relationships, what we've been taught to desire in relationships in this world today, doesn't serve us. They don't serve us no more. And that's the cycle that's closing. And so as chosen ones, yeah, we feel pretty fucking isolated right now because with this veil around us, there's not anybody in that veil. That veil is kind of like the coin I have that has the two rings on it. And so it's like the one right here, you're in the very middle, and then you got a fence around you. But then you got this fence around you, and all the other elements are outside of this other fence, But there ain't nobody even coming in proximity to you. No way. That at all would ever appear to be like a relationship material. It's like maybe a few friends or something like that, associates. But God's been really like protecting us. It's not because it's a rejection, it's protection. But it's not even a matter of rejection right now. We've been isolated behind this veil, because we've been healing in a way that we have to be healed in order to receive the ones, and with that, it's like, yeah, we're going to have the one, definitely we need our partner. We got to be complete. We got to be whole. We got to be both masculine and feminine as that one spirit that we share here on earth, And so they're coming. Yeah, they're coming, You might not know who it is. You might be really surprised. You might be like, what the fuck, No, I was pretty surprised to find out the little guy was my soulmate. Ain't gonna be no problems there, I guess. They're like, yeah, she has not done the way. You don't know how to behave proper, so you get little guy, But hey, you never know, right? And so whatever it is that's gonna come through that veil right now, what these four elements represent around the veil, around there is them four elements, right? That's the experience that you have now in your disposal, at your in your arsenal, right? And so when you go into these next connections, because look, it's like this: chosen ones are beautiful. God likes beautiful seed. If you're gonna grow a plant in your garden, you're gonna grow a beautiful plant in your fucking garden. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna, if you got choice, you choose the seeds. Yeah, you're gonna choose to grow things that are desirable to look at, that are desirable to be around. That look good, smell good, taste good. You know what I'm saying? All that sweet stuff, right? But like the chosen ones, we got to all work together, And so that don't mean that it's just a big orgy. You can't just, it's what it is. It's like, yeah, we got our soulmate, we got our twin, yeah, we got that one, that we could actually show the whole world how to act divine with, behave properly, be a good example of to some of the things that matter, And it's like, and really, it's like, I don't know. I'm not talking shit, I'm just saying that we've learned the alternatives, And so right now we have to be very intelligent moving forward to know the difference of like, even if we're like physically attracted to somebody, right? We know that that's an individual that's in our path to work with us, and they could be a very like powerful, very important player in our path, But just because there's a physical attraction, because we're chosen ones, there's going to be that fire, right? Well, you gotta know the difference. We gotta have good discernment right now. We gotta know what the true. We gotta really listen to God, and we gotta let God lead, guide, and direct us, and bring it in. That's what that protective wreath is for, so that we're fully healed in the time that we come together as chosen ones right now. Because I mean, it's gonna be a love fest, but bigger than shit. But the ones that we're romantic with, I mean, that's hard to find, It really is, We're learning that. It's like too much chaos. Look what Tinder did. You know what I'm saying, man? Created a lot of spiritual chaos, And that's what we've been taken out of and removed from. And that's what those four energies are around this wreath, Those four energies represent the fact that, most likely as a chosen one too, you're going to have all four elements that you're working with, or you're going to gain mastery over an element you're missing. But that's what I would say, because it's like what I was talking about in the read about dinosaurs. They, I transit on primordial, and so it's I have all elements in my chart. I have a pretty balanced chart when it comes to all that. The least amount of air. But that's good because a little bit of air I got, it's enough to really blow that fucking fire in me, man. And like comes out like dragon blood, you know. And so it's like I got enough air like that, really, you know. And so that's what this is representing, though, you know. And so it's telling us right now that through all the bullshit that we've been through, because it's like that's why you would have a balanced chart, you know, is because like you've really been through a lot, you know, and so you've really gathered all your tools, because like the magician has access to all four elements. They have all the tools at their disposal to properly manifest and to be a chosen seed, you know, to walk in that light. That would be considered a divine one, which would open you up for that opportunity to be in a divine counterpart relationship, which there's only, well, you know, there's 140, so there's 72, or 72,000 of them, you know, and so it's a pretty elite slot, right? We'd all love that to happen. We would, right? I mean, that's right. That's what the whole story is, you know. Disney's made fortune off it, corrupting that shit, making it karmic as AF, karmic as fuck, you know, and teach our children crazy shit so they're better consumers. But it's true, you know, and it's royalty. It makes you royalty. It really does. And if you're in that healing process, you know, which like I describe here, because I've been in it, and so I can describe it. You know, you've been doing the work. You know, you've been out there acting like a karmic fool. You've actually been doing the work, and you've been, yeah, you know, been doing the work. Keeping it in your pants. You've been being legit. You've been being honest. You've been doing a lot of self work. You've been working hard on yourself. You're eating good. You know, and so right now, yeah, you're looking good, smelling good, feeling good. You know, and so you're the world card right now. You know, so you guys chose one. Buying them. That's a lot on that world card. The world card's got a lot to say today. And so I don't know. Somebody out here, y'all, we're all kind of feeling our feelings right now. It's that way, you know. And with that world card too, that's all four elements, like I said. You know, and so she's got the Ace of Cups here on the bottom of the deck. Ace Cup on the bottom of the deck. So, God's got you looking good, feeling good, smelling good, you know, and so you're probably gonna be seen, you know, as that, you know, and the fuck. You got the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the, or Wheel of Fortune on the flip there, Wheel of Fortune. So with the Wheel of Fortune, I mean, that's just what it is. And it's the upright position too, with the World card as well, you know. And the Wheel of Fortune and the World card, they kind of look the same. And they also have all four elements, you know, on the corners of the card. It's just that in this Wheel of Fortune card, the individual that's in the reef, because see, I talk about this a lot on the channel here. This World card that came out right away is it's the Wheel of Fortune, because this is the Wheel of Fortune, you know, right here. But in the World card energy, see, we're not gambling anymore, and so we're in an energy of healed, you know, because the purple and everything with it's God's chosen, it's healed, you know, and so we've been very protected in that. Like that's a you know, it's like an egg, right? And so we've been in there, we've been healing, we've been growing, we've been really becoming that energy right there that we've always been meant to become. You know, we're finishing up. You know, it's like we're maturing, and I'm not even gonna say maturing, because it's like we're really just now receiving that spark of life that we've been missing. You know, because we learned not to gamble with that Wheel of Fortune anymore. We learned that, no, you know, it's kind of like a poker machine. You know, you got to fucking put your money into it to lose. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way it is. That's how that karmic wheel is. And so when you make one move, it's gonna move another, and that's gonna have a cause and effect in your life. That, you know, you gotta know how to move. If you make a wrong move, you know, it's easy to get addicted to making more wrong moves. And us chosen ones right now, we've been through that. We ain't doing that. We ain't taking that risk on this position that we're in right now, which is at the center of the wheel. You know, instead of sitting on top of it where we could fall off with the sword in our hands, trying to decide whether we made the right choice or not. You know, it's like, what do I got to cut? So it's like that got the sword in your hand, and it's like, you know, the stripes on the head right there and everything. You might think that you're some kind of mythological beast in that position right there, just because the devil's hiding on the bottom of that wheel. But that devil's always going to try to trip you up every time that wheel turns around, you know? He holds his position because they're like that. They're here to fuck us up. But in this position here, this puts you in the very center of that wheel, right? And in the center of that wheel, it spins around you, you know, and the devil never has a chance to fuck you up. And so thank God. That's good, you know? And so if we've got the bottom of anything here with the love read, with the O.G.O, well, we know that God loves you. That's good. That's very good. Because when God loves you, you know, they can give you the world and it ain't sin. You know? And so the Two of Swords on the bottom here is the is like you know, it's kind of like don't think about it is what it's like, you know, instead of trying to think about like what you got to cut, you know, just think about what others are cutting if they lose you. Honestly, you know, who gives a fuck? Like you're your most powerful when energy, you know, for manifestation, when we're not worried about shit, you know. And so we ain't gonna worry about it no more. Don't worry about it no more. You gotta we're really getting to that point too where we're learning how to manage our triggers, because it's been a real back and forth of breadcrumbing and just getting fucking dirtbagged, you know, all year by many people, multiple people, you know, even your mother goes to, you know. It's like, seriously, I know, I mean, hey, you know, mine did. Many times. I mean, you know, siblings, my child, like, gosh, man, I've tried to reach my child on every single app out there except for Tinder, you know? Wouldn't that be weird? You know? That'd be fucking, man. It's kind of weird we live in today. I mean, not, but I'm just saying, you know, it's like he's an adult now, you know? I've been trying to find him since he was 12, you know? So if you've been going through that with your child, yeah, you gotta quit thinking about it, you know, like that's what you do, you know, because like the child's grown up in our time of we got the Four of Swords in the reverse, okay, and so the amount of time that we've been mourning over it, the amount of time that we spent kind of sobbing about it and shit like that, you know, that's got to come to an end, you know. It's like time for battle, big time, you know. And so it's like, yeah, we went through it, yeah, we went through it, yeah, they really almost took us out. Yeah, they gave us everything that we seemed to think we wanted, so they could take it away from us and make us feel like we weren't jack shit, and then we weren't going to ever have nothing again that we truly wanted, so that we could be put in a position where we were able to receive exactly what it is that we need and that we want. But we're going to have to fucking, it's time to fight for that shit now, you know what I'm saying? And that's what God's saying, and we got to fight for that shit, though, in a way that we are now a true warrior of God, you know. I mean, we've healed, we've raised ourselves up, you know. We set aside, you know. That's set aside, but like not. It's time. I mean, it's like big guns, okay. Honestly, because if you think about it, that's us. We got them 3 swords plus a sword underneath our bed. Gangster, okay. Spiritual gangster. When this one gets up off that fucking table, every fucking dragon and the whole fucking nearby everywhere hides, because this one spits fire. You know what I'm saying? And so we've been in that period of healing right now. That's also gave us a lot of courage, you know, to be able to stand on our own, so that we're not going to be compromised when we do. There's not 2 sitting on this table, and so we gotta be fucking powerful chosen ones always in that energy of when Spirit says go to battle, because when they turn the 4 swords upside down on you, they're telling you, get up, grab your fucking swords, get your horse ready, tell your squire, get out of bed, stop porking his girlfriend, it's time to go to war. That's what they're saying. Okay, spiritual warrior. We signed up for that. That's the contract. You know, you become a spiritual ninja, a spiritual warrior, spiritual samurai, bad motherfucker. So that when it's time to activate you and it's time to charge into fucking battle, you don't doubt for a second what time it is. Time to go fishing, you know what I'm saying? We're spiritual warriors, right? And so that's why there's 75,000 of us we get our sword carrying baddie, right? He's by our side, by back to back. That will never fucking sell us out. That will back to back. And we're a fierce ass, 2-headed, fucking 4-armed fucking deity out there, getting it done, destroying demonic energy, all this karmic shit right now that's consuming God's creation, right? And that's what we're searching for. That's what we're here for. That's what we want, right? And that's boom, divine connection. You know what I'm saying? And that's what kind of times we're in right now, where that shit's gonna be manifested. Because it's gonna be vow time, but they don't want us pining for nothing. They want us with our divine one, right? That we can go into battle, we can charge into battle with them, and we have them, and that's it. We don't give a fuck about what else is going on around us, It's not a question. We don't worry about nothing else. We've cut all fucking ties, and we're formed, boom, into that fucking thing, that fierce ass motherfucker that's a chosen one, do God's work. Do God's work, and it's ethereal for sure, It's like it's demons, we could really slay them fucking demons, able to really fucking get them demons out of motherfuckers, show them a different path. And so if that's what you're looking for, if you're looking for your divine chosen one, okay, these are the energies you might resonate with this reading. And so far, like I said, we got all signs twice, okay? And so with the wheel and with the world card, and then we got some air, a little bit of air, but it's upside down, and so that honestly resonates kind of back to what I was thinking, because that's the weakest point in my chart, or what I was talking about. And so they're really trying to remind us too, like they're telling me I got to really use my fucking head here, like I got to really use my smarts, put my thoughts in my brain space and not in my cups, what I'm saying? Energy in that water energy right now. Same with that 2 of swords, exactly what they're saying. With that 2 of swords on the bottom of the deck, they're telling you that exact same thing. Use your head. Use your head right now. Really be thoughtful about the choices that you're making, and don't think with your in your pants. Definitely, and you use your abilities to manifest and to think with all elements. They're saying like to be loving, but don't be overindulgent, right? And like be grounded, but don't be too practical. And then too overly practical. So it's like you gotta you can't just have walls, boundaries, right? But you got to be very practical about, moving forward. If you're looking for a divine connection, that is like that powerful. It's like the divine connection, it's not cheap. Well, that's what they're telling you right now. And then really they're telling you to use more air, if anything, more air. And like with the fire, to be, again, just don't be, you got to be real practical. Be hot, be hot, but not passionate or like overly passionate, if that makes any sense. But use your head, because there's two air cards out there, with the air that's in the world card and with the air that's in the Wheel of Fortune card. Okay, and so that's what Spirit's saying. What else you got, Spirit? Spirit's been trying to teach us right now that we can carry our own and be confident in that, because the only way that you can attract a divine counterpart is when you meet and deliver yourself, when they're delivered to you and you meet them or whatever, you're in that energy, because you're just like, I got this shit, it's like you're already a baddie, and so it's like, yeah, you've been doing a good job. You've been holding your head to it. You've been thinking. And you've been carrying your own load. You're not asking anybody else to carry your load for you, And so, like, you've earned it, You got the stripes, like, big time. That's the stripes, right? You got the stripes, definitely, Stripes. You got stripes, right? Because, and everybody can see that. When they see you walking into town, you got the biggest, you got the biggest one, Like, you're the one. You got the biggest low sticks in your arms. You're a baddie, You're carrying logs, right? And everybody's like, damn, that motherfucker over there doesn't need any help from nobody. They're a badass, And that's what they say. And they're like, and he's badass, and expects the same out of others, or they, because when they see us to come together, right, when they see a divine connection come together, both individuals are in that energy. They're in that energy of, I can carry my own load. I'm the chosen one in this wreath over here, by all the Spirit, God has chosen me and protected me and kept me safe. Now I'm going to show to them that I have the confidence and the willingness to accept that gift and carry it myself, and not be trying to ask anybody else to get in the to distract me, because they're not able to carry their own, away from the task at hand, which is being the best example of myself that I could possibly be to Most High, to God, because that's who ultimately is going to grant me the biggest wishes that I hope and pray for, because they have access to everything. They create everything. They're responsible for our entirety, like everything, everything. God has say over everything. And so if God says no, no means no, and it, that's generally to protect you, and so don't feel like you got to give up your stabs or whatever, so you can help carry somebody else's stabs, you know what I'm saying? Because that's the thing, while they carry less stabs, so it's like you already got 10, and so you're going to want to carry all 10 of yours. But if you're carrying like 15 or 14, or 16, and then somebody else is only carrying like 4 now because they don't got to carry stabs, you're really good at carrying stabs. That's slavery. That's exploitation. And so we have to protect ourselves as chosen ones. And when we are around a chosen energy that we're very attracted to, they're also going to be in that same attitude, And so it's like, and so if it's 2 chosen ones, well, everybody knows that a chosen one can carry fucking 30 stabs, 90 stabs, They can carry every staff in the fucking village and feed every belly in the village. That's what a chosen one is, And so 2 chosen ones combined, what it is, man. I mean, seriously though, I thought about it a lot. There's all these crazy videos out here on YouTube, but this is probably the best damn love read you ever received. I'll say that. And it don't matter what sign you are. They're saying that you're really passionate about the work that you're doing for God right now, and so yeah, you're in a damn good position to have your eyes opened up to see what is going to really truly serve you in your life, So when we allow God to make those choices for us, they know what we like, God's like the perfect ultimate friend. They're like the ultimate homie that you always think everybody should be, but they're not. Like if you send God down to the store in your car, they're going to come back with your fucking rig, and it's going to be vacuumed out, It's going to have fucking tires rotated and like oil change. It's gonna be fucking spit span, man. It's gonna wash the windows inside and out and everything. And they'll go get your groceries for you. They'll fucking pay, They'll pay half. They'll pay the whole fucking thing, Stop paying another bill on the way home with your fucking money and have every fucking goodie you liked in that motherfucking bag when they come back, And then they'll fucking clean your house for you. You're like, that's fucking homie. And that. Sorry, too busy telling you how much I love God. I forgot I was supposed to be doing a love read. So as a chosen one, we gotta show reverence to that shit. And then when we gain a person who also is in that same position, done that work, where you get that homie relationship like that with God, hey man, change the world, And the world really needs that right now. They really fucking do, And so you might be also with that world card. Closing out, there might be some endings, there might be some cycles that are really closing out for you right now. You're in a state of transition, It's a new beginning. So it's like we've already gone through this 10 swords energy. We've survived this, That's a reminder from Spirit that you gotta always be fully fucking aware of what it is that you're doing with your swords and with your thoughts and with everything, and how you see things, how you view the world around you, because it's the way we think that could ultimately defeat us in the long run, and especially if we're not willing to be more flexible and use all of the elements that we have at our disposal with that world card and with that Wheel of Fortune right there. So that's all 4 elements, And so that's like telling us to be paying attention right now. Pay attention. Making our stand. We got to pay attention. And I'm going to close this readout. I think that Three of Wands, maybe it didn't, but I feel like it did come out last card. No, it didn't. I don't think it did. But that's the Three of Wands. And so right now, Three of Wands is like, Three of Wands is like, like right now it's, it's like standing your ground. Like I said here too, it's like standing on your own. The Three of Wands with this with the Ten of Wands, and see, and there's a lot of energy. So like the other two energies that we pulled were fire and air, right? And like the fire energy is like this definitely like self-passion energy. It's like because it's like carrying your own load, is being able to like you're hot, you're fine on your own. You don't need anything else. Like you don't need anything outside of what you already have to make you feel hot. Because that's how we get people pawning their other fucking shit off on us. Is because we think that we need that shit to feel really hot. But we're like, man, God thinks I'm hot. That's that God thinks I'm hot, And so this energy is like on call, on duty, on call, like I said here. Because at any time, any minute, any second, it's go time. Kind of like in our lives right now. And it really is kind of go time right now. Like we got to get thinking about what's going on, because the world is getting feebly, dangerously out of control. And it's we're letting the geriatrics fucking run this motherfucker. We need to get some motherfuckers out here that got fire in their guts, right? Spit in their eye. And so it's kind of go time in that sense, And so, and it could be a go time energy of like looking out here, planning, like we're planning for what's coming next, knowing that we could carry our own load. Okay, so we're good. And we know, I'm getting that energy kind of a little bit of, it's an assessment right now of what these wands are for us. Okay. And so it's like, we're carrying a lot of, we're very passionate people. We always have been 10 of wands, it's like, yeah, we like a lot of, we're passionate, we're hot, hot, hot. We got a lot of fire in our charts. And so, because again, this is fire. So like, Sag, Aries, Leo, right? And then we got air, which is Gemini, and all 4 elements over there, right? And so like, but like that's what they're saying right now with this energy, with that air energy being in the way it is that we got to be thinking about these passions that we've been carrying around here and really assessing whether or not they're going to serve us moving forward, because this individual right here only has 3 wands. See? Feel me? And he started off with 10. And so he does have these ships out here now in the harbor. Those ships, he might have fucking sold 7 of these wands off and bought those ships. And so that's what Spirit's telling you right now, is to not be afraid to reassess the things that have been making you feel passionate, that you've been passionate about. Don't be afraid to reassess those things and to understand that whatever it is that you're looking towards right now is away from whatever you thought was going to serve you in the past. Okay? And so don't be afraid to shed a little, as long as you're investing back into whatever it is that you're looking ahead to, that you're looking forward to, in the other direction. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the energy that I'm picking up right here. And so, and two, with that 3 of wands, looks to me like there's still one more wand right there. And so it's like you got one more wand right there, and you got them 2 wands that you're going to keep. You got your arms around them, And so those are important ones to you. You're going to keep those ones. And so if we're talking about a relationship, well, yeah, that could be like your kid, your soulmate, or whatever it is that you're going through right now. You're going through something heavy with a very heavy energy relationship. I know that those are 2 energies that I've been missing. They're not attached. They're in separate directions. But I need to figure out from my own story what that wand is right there that I need to fucking still eliminate. So you need to eliminate one of these passions left that's not serving you, so that your load is light enough to then get on those ships out there and sail. Because I guess apparently those ships that you were able to build with them wands ain't big enough to carry all that lumber. Okay? And so think about that. And shit, I don't know, you guys. That's a pretty damn good read. Yeah, you got the moon card at the bottom of the deck. Listen to your intuition. Pay attention to your dreams right now. I had very vivid dreams last night. This moon is Cancer moon, so we got of course it's Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, right? And so be paying attention, because like these 2 right here are going to definitely come together on one trail. You know what I'm saying? And there's two towers right here, you know, and that's our higher selves, right? And they're standing. This card is in the upright, and so they ain't falling. But we got to bridge that gap. You know what I'm saying? And so gotta listen to ourselves, but we gotta really listen to the guidance, you know, right here, up Most High, and that they always see us, even in our shadow. You know, so don't worry about it. If we've been a little bit, you know, we've been feeling it. You know, there's a lot of things that we miss right now, and it's been hard to process. It's been hard to trust others. But what they're telling us with this moon card, the upright, is to fully, you know, right now, trust your intuition, trust yourself, listen to your gut, and use your head, like big time, and make the right choices. You know, it's, you gotta. Looks to me like really, you gotta do a little cutting, chosen one, with them swords. You know, you got to chop them up. You know, and it's like, fortunately, you're gonna chop them ones up. You're gonna chop them stabs up, and you're gonna build shivs. Okay, that's good. You're not losing your stabs. You're transmuting your stabs. Okay, and so you just gotta transmute your passions, and then build the vessels those vessels that you build. Okay, that's not necessarily ships. It doesn't mean ships. Okay, but it just means that you're getting prepared right now with everything you need to go on this next big journey. That's going to be your big one. You know, you're getting ready to do your big one. You know, and that's going to be what is going to continue to like really give you a lot of passion. You know, and it's going to build that 10 Pentacles. So you're going to learn how to turn your passions into 10 Pentacles, right? And then that's going to help you carry a lighter load. But you're also going to have vessels that now that you're working with, you know. And so, like, that's a really good read. It's I mean, that's what I was going to do it, love read. But this is more sharing with you how to complete the process that we've been in on our chosen path here, in order to bring it home. You know, to be in that position that when God starts serving out the soup bowls, we get the biggest bone, you know, we get the biggest piece of meat on it because we've done the hardest work, you know, and so we're going to get that reward. It's a long message, sorry guys. But, you know, I'll post this one in the morning. So, cool. Best wishes to you guys. Hang in there. It's rough.